أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونستهديه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلن تجد له وليا مرشدا وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. Today's subject, inshallah, I thought about different subjects actually I do have, but today I'm going to dedicate it for Islamic sayings. So I'm going to hit on multiple topics. I'm going to open it for discussion for everybody here. I'm very interested actually in your opinion as well in many of these topics. I'm going to start by a general saying that says, إِذَا أَمْلَقْتُمْ فَتَاجِرُوا اللَّهَ بِالصَّدَقَةِ. Some of the people, when they get poor and they don't have as much money, they try to kind of be conservative. But this says, if you really feared poverty, then trade Allah with more donations. SubhanAllah, this is a paradigm shift. This is a concept that many of us are not familiar with. This is actually the mastery of Brother Yusuf. Everybody that he talks to asks for donations. So really, this encourages people. If you want more money, even if you are poor, you give, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will double. And again, I'm going to hit multiple topics. If you want to pitch in, you want to add comments, please stop me. And I'm very interested in your opinion as well. I'm going to hit multiple topics. I'm going to keep moving on. There's a saying that says, نصف المعرفة أكثر خطورة من الجهل. This is an extremely important topic. Those who think that they know, but they don't know the full story or the full truth, are a lot more dangerous than people that don't know. Because people that don't know, they'll just concede and say, we don't know. So it translates, beware of false knowledge, for half of the knowledge is a lot more dangerous than ignorance. SubhanAllah. There are, in my opinion, there are three kinds of people. People who know and make things happen. Second type of people that watch things happen. And people that wonder what happened, right? So if somebody, let's just take an example as subhanAllah, ifta, or giving opinion about deen to those who don't know much about Islam. And unfortunately, I'm talking about the Arab culture. I don't know much about other cultures, Pakistani, Indian. In our Arab culture, subhanAllah, people like to give opinion all the times, even in subjects and areas that they are not fully knowledgeable about. And this could be very destructive. I watched many brothers give opinions about Islam to non-Muslims, and I personally stayed quiet, and I thought that this opinion is probably a lot more destructive than just saying I don't know. Saying I don't know, مَا قَالَ لَا أَعْلَمْ فَقَدْ أَفْتَى. Right? So this is on that topic. For those who know half of the truth or some of the truth, it is better to say I don't know rather than just pitching in and giving an incomplete opinion. Just leave it to the knowledgeable people. Moving on, Brother Abu Suhaib, did you want to add anything? I feel like
you want to finish?
no, this is an open forum, so if you guys want to add anything, you can please raise your hand or whatever you pitch in. There's this saying, I need to learn actually that one. I'm going to go ahead and say it because I probably need it most. It says, المزاح يأكل الهيبة وقد أكثر من الهيبة الصامت. This talks about, joking around all the times could kill the heart, and it would, do away with your charisma and your character. People will be a lot less respectful. Although, on the contrary, Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said, روحوا القلوب ساعة بعد ساعة فإنها إذا كلت عميت. You just can't be serious all the time. Brother Nashat, you got to joke around here and there.
You got it. I was thinking, Your body over there.
Yeah. So you gotta smile. You gotta joke around. You gotta, because the hearts. And Allah Rasul Sallallahu said, فَإِنَّهَا إِذَا كَلَّتْ عَمِيَتْ. If it gets fed up, it becomes blind. And blindness leads you astray. So you gotta balance it out. But Prophet, there's a lot of hadith on Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam stating that the samt is staying silent and being quiet, is a lot more rewarding than talking. So whether it's joking or whether it's talking. And speaking of the samt, I'm going to make, actually, if inshallah I get an opportunity to do another gathering like this in the future, I'm going to make a whole inshallah topic about samt. Brother Zain?
Can you draw a line between when to joke around and what is prohibited?
Yeah, this
around. The first hadith you read,
this is a very, very good question.
any guidance in this regard? How far we can go in joking and
what's the limits and where to stop and how to gauge and measure the person in front of you in order to not be hurtful and sarcastic. Yeah.
Can you repeat the question? I hear the question.
The question from Brother Zain is just to provide a mechanism or tool for us to enable us to know where to draw the line between joking or excessive joking, where to stop, how to measure your brother's response, whether he's accepting, not accepting, guidelines and principles for when to joke and when to not, and how to stop if the person is not accepting the jokes. Is that
so it looks good that a person, joker, kind of, he looks to be very popular among people, and you like to follow him, and so that you become popular and you make people laugh on things which are really good or bad, whatever it is. So who will draw the line? Are there any guidelines if you can tell about?
Sure.
حديث
Brother,
الرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم حديث الرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم كثرة النساء.
Assalamu alaikum. Of course, Ummah of Islam is Ummatul Jad. We are the Ummah of seriousness. We are always Jad. We are always serious, and we don't tell lies. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in hadith, to draw the line between joking and being serious, and he balanced alayhi salatu wasalam. He was always serious, even when he was joking. When he was joking, he was telling the truth. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, لعن الله الرجل يحدث بالحديث ليضحك به الناس وهو كاذب. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will curse a person who tells hadith, saying, or a joke, to make people laugh while he's lying. Like, you cannot make a lie to tell a joke to make people, laugh, and you think this is like from Islam, and you make things easy. It does not work like this. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he used to joke, but at the time he joked seriously. For example, one old lady entered truthfully, telling the truth, not lie. An old lady came and she wanted to talk to him, and he said, لا يدخل الجنة عجوز. An old lady will not get into paradise, and she was upset. How come? And he explained to her that we in Jannah we will be at the age of 23, and nobody will be old. So he was serious, but he was telling a joke. Another joke, he said, أنت الذي في عينك بياض, أو أنت الذي في عينك بياض. Are you the one who has white thing in your eyes? And the man or the woman was astounded. What? And everybody has white things in his eye. And he was joking with the kids in the street, but he was joking in a way to teach people that our deen is, yes, you have to be serious, but at some instances you can joke, you can make things easy on people around you. He was joking with one of the Sahaba, Abu Nuwayr, what's the hadith? One of the Sahaba used to grow a small bird, and he, Abu Nughayr, ما فعل النغير. He was joking with him. And Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he was the best when he was joking. He was the best when he was serious. So to draw the line between joking and not joking, Islam ordered us to be all the time serious. Serious, I mean, because our Islam does not take anything but be serious, even if you are joking. But that does not mean that we have to be rigid all the time. You know, at home, you have to. It's a must to joke with your kids, to joke with your wife, to make the environment inside the house very nice, very smooth. Some people, unfortunately, they get home and they get into the home and they are not smiling. They come from work exhausted and enter the home and they start screaming, where is the food, where is this, where is that, giving orders, and they make their house like hell. I mean, no, it's not. Islam is very, very flexible, very serious at the same time, but the limit is to tell the truth and to be fair and not to, I mean, joke around telling lies.
Jazakallah khair.
I think also not to offend other
Absolutely.
people.
Yes, absolutely.
Allah is common.
من قوم
So there are guidance from Quran and also Sunnah.
Good point. Yeah.
Do not offend others, even if they are present or they are not present there. To watch the limits placed by in Quran and Sunnah. So those are the guidelines I feel in order.
Yeah, Jazakallah khair. And there's a lot of guidance about samt and jokes. And in Islam, again, this is a topic for a very long khutbah. I'm going to just touch on it a little bit. Joking or turfa or smiling is a sadaqah too in your brother's face. So no doubt, all recent psychology say that smiling or telling a light joke in the most professional meeting could break the ice. They call them icebreakers. So it is very encouraged when it's not stepping over the boundaries, or it's hurting people, or going in haram. قال الله سبحانه وتعالى ما يلفظ من قول إلا لديه رقيب عتيد. A man does not say anything without having a strong, prepared observer watching everything you say. On the right and on the left, we have two angels, and they're recording. Also, إِنَّ رَبَّكَ لَبِالْمِرْصَادِ, which is a very strong statement. لَبِالْمِرْصَادِ, this is a very, very strong word. You say that in Arabic, I am لَكَ بِالْمِرْصَادِ, which means I'm watching every step that you make. This is a very strong, threatening way of saying nothing you say or do without being recorded. So this is to encourage all of us to think many times before not only we say things, but also we do things. I'm going to mix it up with a small turfa. There's this khatib. This is for you, Brother Zain, because you like those turfas. There's this khatib that misunderstood the samt, so he took it to the extreme. And he got on the minbar, and he was doing the khutbah for Jum'ah, and he said, إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستهديه عباد الله. Do you know the story of Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam? Some of the audience shook their heads like, yeah, we said, okay, let's go, aqim as-salah. So he cut it short because they said, because it's samt, he's promoting samt. And then after he prayed and then he did the salam on the right and the left, he turned around and he said, do you know the khutbah of Brother Ibrahim alayhi salam? Some of the audience said, yeah. He said, all right, you don't have to come in next Friday then. So he took the samt to the extremist. What I'm trying to say in this little turfa is that you really need to do a good balance. Sometimes you need to talk when it's due, and you need to be quiet when it's due. But
yeah, actually,
could you pass please the microphone?
actually, the salt is needed when there is a need for it. That's why the Prophet has indicated al-mu'min فَلْيَقُلْ خَيْرٌ أَوْ لِيَصْمُتْ. So if he cannot say good, then he will be quiet. But it does not mean that the mu'min cannot joke, cannot laugh, No, actually it's required. The Prophet ﷺ used that until the companion sees his wisdom teeth from the leg. So that kind of expression that he was laughing to the extreme that people could see how far he was laughing. So this is actually is encouraged. And the dialogue or the conversation, it goes to, to harm or hurt or create fitna. That's when something is mandatory.
Right. Jazakallah khair.
Some also you have to break when you see that there is a harm if you don't open your mouth in case of difficult situation and give the right information without bias. So remaining silent all the time may not be helpful.
Yes, Jazakallah khair. There is a saying that says, there are few times that I regretted that I stayed quiet, but there are many times that I regretted when I talked. Because once you say it, subhanAllah, you can't take it back. And Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, عن معاذ رضي الله عنه أخبرني, he's asking Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, tell me about a deed that will let me in Jannah and ويباعدني عن النار, which means keeps me a distance from fire, hellfire. And Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, ألا أخبرك بملاك ذلك كله, which means I'm going to tell you a secret to master this whole issue or this whole topic. You're going to go to heaven, and it's going to keep you away from hellfire. I'm going to tell you the secret. And Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he grabbed his tongue and he said, "Kuff alayka hada," which means control this. And then Mu'adh said, "Ya Rasulullah, wa inna la mu'akhadun bima natakallam," which is, are we going to be accounted for, and are we going to be held accountable for what we say? And Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Thakalatka ummuk," which is an Arabic term saying, oh, he's very strangely replying to him, "Of course you are." And he said, وَهَلْ يَكُبُّ النَّاسَ فِي النَّارِ عَلَى وُجُوهِهِمْ إِلَّا حَصَائِدِ أَلْسِنَتِهِمْ. I mean, that's number one reason that throws people in hellfire, which is what you gathered by what you said, by your tongue. So subhanAllah, this is a very important. As a matter of fact, when you talk to, not only you are more likely, more prone to make mistakes, but also you could fall into gossiping and ghiba and namima and backbiting and what have you unintentionally, and that will, increase your sins. Abdul Rahman ibn Mahdi, he's talking about backbiting, said, if it wasn't for me afraid that Allah will be disobeyed, I would have raised my hand asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make every man and woman on this earth say bad thing about me, or ghiba, or namima, or bite, because I don't trust my work, but every time they talk about me, I'll get a hasana. So in any case, this is very important to control what we say, what we joke about, in order, subhanallah, to avoid from falling in the mistake. And there's a famous little joke about some student, a lazy, smart aleck student, that the teacher is asking, what is your favorite country? And he was trying to be smart and, was making up stuff, and then he said, Czechoslovakia. The teacher said, oh, really great. Why don't you just go write it on the board? And he said, no, I'm just joking. I love USA. So he made a mistake by saying a big word that he can't live up to. In any case, the next topic that I want to talk about actually is thanking people. Shukr nas, and the opposite, of course, in the Quran al-Jameel. This is a very good topic, or it's a very important topic, because we often, I'm not fault myself, we often overlook what people, good deeds and good behavior. So Prophet Muhammad ﷺ and Allah encourages to thank people for their good deeds and good behavior, and that encourages people to continue to do good deeds, and even more so. Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said, "Man la yashkur al-nas la yashkur Allah." who he or she do not thank people for their good behavior, good deeds, it's equivalent to not thanking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And in the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَلَا تَبْخَسُوا النَّاسَ أَشْيَاءَهُمْ وَلَا تَعْثَوْا فِي الْأَرْضِ مُفْسِدِينَ, which means, do not deny people their good deeds, good behavior, the good things that they've done, because this is equivalent to al-fasad fil ard, وَلَا تَعْثَوْا فِي الْأَرْضِ مُفْسِدِينَ, which means you're spreading fasad and destruction. And when I actually looked about this, and I did some analysis and some research, why is it that when you deny people their good deeds and good behavior, you're spreading fasad and destruction? Because if I, for example, did something good and was discouraged and not appreciated, nukran al-jamil, which is ingratitude or lack of gratefulness, I will be discouraged to do good deeds again. And it is much needed in society, but because I was not appreciated, not thanked for it, or being, people being ungrateful for it, I'm going to stop doing it, and the good deeds will not be spreading anymore. And this is equivalent to that negation or the opposite of good deeds, which is fasad, in my opinion. There's this guy, and this is actually there's this guy who is a sandwich. He sells sandwiches on the corner of the street. And there's this businessman that walks by him every morning, and he buys a sandwich for $1. And he did this every day, where he paid for that sandwich, but never picked up that sandwich. He didn't want the sandwich, he just wants to help that sandwich guy. And he has a stand in the corner of the street. So he did it for years and years and years. He will pay the $1 and not pick up the sandwich and keep going. One day, 15 years later maybe, the guy at the corner of the street stopped the businessman. And he said, "Sir," so the businessman, after all these years, expected a big thank you for his favors, helping his business. He never picked up the sandwich. And he said, the businessman turns around, full of expectations, and he said, I know. You're wondering why I've been paying $1 for 15 years, but never picked up that sandwich. The sandwich guy said, actually, I can't care less. I just want to let you know that the sandwich went up from $1 to $1.50. This is a classic example of really people who do favors and good deeds. Although they don't want the thanks, but deep inside their heart, they're expecting it. And they're building up on it for years. And when he turned around, the first thing he expected is, why did you not pick the sandwich? Thank you for helping me out. Instead, he was faced with ungratefulness. Before I move to the next topic, anybody that wants to comment?
Can you explain the right way of thanking people? If somebody does you a favor, there is a way of appreciating them. So you are the best person, you are the generous person, and that kind of excessive appreciation. But what is the real way, Islamic way of thanking people who did some favor to you?
Wallahi, and I'm going to give you my opinion. I'm not the expert, but I'm going to open it for the audience. I take example of Prophet Musa alayhi salam, and please help me out with this story because I don't know the details. When he was sitting down and he, what's in the ayah of Iyas? فجاءته إحداهما تمشي على استحياء. Yeah, what's the ayah before this? فجاءته إحداهما تمشي على استحياء.
قال رب إني لما أنزلت إلي
من خير فقير فجاءته إحداهما تمشي على استحياء. And he helped her, with moving the stone, and then she's with the well, and the long story about helping her out. They say I read a story that says أنصح البنات لأبيها بنت شعيب جزاك الله خير, because she advised her father. And then the full story is that Prophet Musa alayhi salam, was a strong man and he was an honest man, and she went to her father and said, "Inna khayra man ista'jarta al-qawi al-amin," which she gave him the best advice ever recorded in mankind, right? Because he ended up being the guy that worked for her father and then her husband at the end, right? And that story tells me that Sayyidina Shu'aib alayhi salam, he did him a favor, that he hired him and he secured him and he gave him shelter and he paid him back. How many years? 12 years? He worked for him?
8 حجم
10.
فإن
10.
أقمت 10 عندك.
Yeah, 10. So, I mean, for a favor to provide security, he gave him 10 full years of a prophet's life. I mean, and that's the story that I use. So, for someone that does you a favor, I don't think there's limits to thanking that person.
No, see, the issue is if you did some favor to me, I can say, may Allah reward you. I don't know whether I should say, may Allah reward you, or pray Allah from inside, Allah reward you. The person, or keep on saying, mashallah, you are the best person on the earth I have seen, you are the generous person in this world, and that will spoil you also.
Oh, I see what
So
you're saying.
these are the things we have to, ponder upon what is the right way. If somebody, he says that make a dua.
من
But
قال
if I do make a dua from inside, you will have the same situation where that person was putting $1 and expecting thank.
But, yeah, it's a balance. It's a balance, but
درس حديث الرسول عليه الصلاة والسلام قال من قال لأخيه جزاك الله خيرا فقد أجزل له العطاء. Whoever said جزاك الله خيرا to his brother for anything that he does, فقد أجزل له, he gave him too much. And when you say جزاك الله خيرا, I don't think you can spoil it because جزاك Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is in the middle. جزاك الله خيرا. And there is some misunderstanding about hamd and shukr. I mean, shukr is actionable. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the ayah said, اعملوا آل داود شكر. So the shukr is done by action. You can thank somebody by giving him a gift, by giving him a letter, by saying something. So it should be an action to thank somebody because shukr is different than hamd. So this is there. But من قال لأخيه جزاك الله خيرا فقد أجزل له العطاء. And whoever not satisfied with جزاك الله خيرا, I think he has to go and should examine his understanding of why he did the thing he did.
so
Shukr and hamd are different.
Yes.
So if somebody did ihsan on you, you should not say do hamd.
Yeah, no.
Rather say jazakallah.
Alhamdulillah. Yeah, shukr is
Or followed by some
Yes.
nek amal.
Yes.
The good.
Sorry, 2 years.
جزاك الله.
احترام
لا كنت قبل إيش الصوت يخبط.
الحمد لله حمد الشاكرين والصلاة والسلام على خاتم النبيين وبعد. أشكر الأصحاب الفتاح وجميع أعزائي وراء الفتاح المكند الطبراني
ومسلم
والكل جميع من تحدث. This matter should be balanced between samt and kalam. Because sometimes الصمت لا ينفع. فالساكت عن الحق شيطان أخرس. إذا دعي عند الشهادة قال الأفضل أصل، لا هذا ليس صحيح. إذا كان في تبيان الحق وإظهار الحق للناس فالساكت عن الحق شيطان أخرس. أضربكم مثال هارون الرشيد رحمه الله تعالى كان يطوف بالكعبة فأخذت له الحاشية الطواف فهو رأى أحد إلى عبد الله العمري أو العمري فقال يا شيخ انظر إلى الناس ماذا يفعل. فقال هذا لقد كنت غنيا عن الكلام لكن الآن الساكت عن الحق شيطان أخرس. فذهب له يا هارون فقال لبيك يا عم. قال اصعد على الصف فصعد على الصف ثم قال انظر كم ترى من الخلائق قال لا يحصيهم إلا الله. قال فاعلم أن كل شخص يسأل عن نفسه وأنت مسؤول عن كل هؤلاء. قال فبكى هارون الرشيد والحاشية تعطيه منديلا وراء آخر. فالساكت عن الحق شيطان أخرس. لكن من صفات المؤمن أن يكون.
Yeah, so Brother Abayas is saying there are some situations where you have to speak out. You can't hold your tongue and then practice silence. One of the situations is if you are faced with a situation where you have to speak up about haqq, truth. And he's given a story about Harun al-Rashid going to Hajj or Umrah, and then he's being surrounded by all his guards, and then one of the ulama was Abdullah al-Umari, he stopped him and he said kalimat haqq, which is a word of truth. Tell him, look how many people are around here, and he said in the millions or what have you. And he said, you are responsible for all of them, you are not better than any of them. And then Harun al-Rashid said, this is a word of truth, and he started crying about the situation. So, الساكت عن الحق شيطان أخرس, which means if you are holding the truth or in a situation where you are being quiet, where you need to speak up, it's equivalent to being a mute devil, and that is shaitan al-akhras.
الصحابة سألوا الرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم في أحد المرات وكان يتأمل، قال ما لك يا رسول الله لا تضحك؟ قال أضحك وقد التقم صاحب القرن قرنا وحنى جبهته وأصخى السمع ينتظر أن يؤمر فيأمر.
والله ما سمعتوش.
حديث الرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم لما
How can I smile?
Why did you get to translate?
well, Sayyidina Israfil when he got the horn in his hand.
Yeah.
احكيها you could say. Sayyidina Israfil, the angel, the one who will blow in the horn. Okay, well, Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, once he was very quiet and like more saddened, like he was asked, "What's wrong, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam?" He said, "Do you want me to smile when I see the angel who's gonna blow the horn has tucked his head down, got the horn in his hand, he's about to, and got his ears listening for the second he's commanded to do the blow in the horn."
There's a saying that says كفى بالقناعة ملكا وحسن الخلق نعيم. It is enough for satisfaction to be the king, and with good manners to be the delight. Good behavior, good manners. القناعة, satisfaction. There's, I believe it's hadith. I forgot what the hadith, but it's stating, maybe we can help with it. As closer that you get to qana'ah, it's one of the dua actually, it's about being closer to the qana'ah and being satisfied. SubhanAllah, جاء رجل الرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم and he asked him, guide me to one deed or one behavior that will make people love me and make Allah love me. دلني على أمر إذا فعلته أحبني الله وأحبني الناس. And he said, ازهد في الدنيا يحبك الله وازهد فيما عند الناس يحبك الناس, which is a testimony about qana'ah, satisfaction. Be satisfied. Don't look at what people have, which means ازهد في الدنيا. Just give up the dunya, Allah will love you, and give up what people have, and don't look at what's in their hands. They will like you. SubhanAllah. I mean, imagine someone tells you, come here, I want to invite you to dinner or invite you to food, and you say, no thank you, I don't want it. They'll insist because they know that you don't need them, you're not after what they have. No, wallahi, you're going to come. But if you just, oh, let's go, you want to invite me to dinner, they'll probably do it once, and then the next time they'll start avoiding you. So this is to go about qana'ah.
There is another hadith. There's another hadith. Rasulullah said, من بات آمنا في سربه معافا في بدنه عنده قوت يومه فقد حاز الدنيا بحذافيرها. Whoever slept, safe between his family, معافا, he is healthy, and he has the provision of only one day, then he has the whole world between his hands. Just one day. Do not look for next day. Just be safe, healthy, and one day provision. You have the whole dunya in your hand.
Jazakallah khair. I'm going to end it with this topic, and this is kind of food for thought. It's a brain teaser, as they call it. Which is more important? Generosity, which are two descriptions for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that ilahiyya. Generosity or mercy? And why? Maybe Brother Yusuf wants generosity because he wants donations. أيهما أفضل لك؟ يعني صفات من صفات الرحمن سبحانه وتعالى، الكرم ولا الرحمة؟ ولماذا؟
يا أيها الإنسان ما غرك بربك الكريم. قال يا عبدي ما غرك تعصيني؟ قال كرمك يا رب.
Yeah. الكرم. So you saying كرم is more important?
If it said to us,
I'm asking you. Yeah.
you know, I mean, you would like to ask us which better for us?
For us as
The
humans.
mercy of Allah
Or karam Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because the mercy of Allah will cover you and shower you and maybe take you from health. But karam Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala might take you from hell to Jannah too.
I'll take the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He said, لا يدخل الجنة أحد بعمله. قالوا ولا أنت يا رسول الله. قال ولا أنا إلا أن يتغمدني الله برحمته. So nobody will enter paradise. He said, Sayyidina Muhammad said, nobody will enter paradise with his action. And he asked him, even you, Ya Rasulullah? He said, even me, unless Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala showers me with his mercy. So the mercy of Allah is inclusive.
الرحمة.
Wallahu a'lam.
And also الرحمة والكرم.
Ask me for one, yes.
ليس لك الأمر.
من كرم الله انه شالوا من ايدك.
Allah Alim, maybe the rahmah will enter you into paradise and the karam will get you at the highest level of paradise.
Maybe. Is there any other opinions about the topic?
من كرم الله انه ما اعطاكيش الجواب لك. هو يكبتد عن زول.
هي الرحمة ثم أنه من كرمه الرحمة لإدخال الجنة ثم الكرم لجاه المنزل.
جزاك الله خير. جزاكم الله خير. وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. اللهم اهدنا بهداك واجعلنا ممن يسارع في رضاك ولا تولنا وليا سواك ولا تجعلنا ممن خالف أمرك وعصاك وحسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم. Don't come next Friday.
Jazakallah khair. Good, very nice.
Thank you. Thank you very much.